Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with match number 2 with the green black fabricate, green black tokens, whatever you want to call this deck. This is an awkward hand because we have double force. We only have 4 force in the entire deck, so we do 2 of them. But the copter makes me want to keep this. We're also on the draw, so we need to find a black source for Night Market or a blister pod. So we have a lot of outs here. We can even draw Nissa, which we can cast. I hope that we can get on a black source within the next few turns for the Catacomb Sifter, as if this is against probably green-black Delirium, which is our easiest matchup, one of our easiest matchups. Unfortunately, it does have the Grim Flare. It's only the Grim Flare draw that can really outrace us, and terrible draws with no land. So I might get punished for keeping this double green deck, or double green draw. And he'll go Vessel to try to make his Grim Flare a 4/4. See if that actually works out. We have a lot of hate for the Grim Flare. We have the Deadweights and the Grasp of Darknesses. So if we do hit our black source next turn, then we Catacomb Sifter and attack in. And then we can probably get rid of another Catacomb Sifter. Or probably at this point, the Weaponcraft's Enthusiast or Night Market Lookout can be something we can ditch. So we need to hit the black source again for the Vidal and Pariah. The Pariah is actually pretty decent because it will sacrifice his Grim Flare and probably like a Mind Rack Demon. So Noxious Gearhulk, it is a 4/4. He's going to swing for 4, set up his deck even more. I mean, the card is incredibly powerful with that aspect. I thought about sort of running a similar, like the Grim Flare might want to come in this deck for the 2-drop. I think Duskwatch Recruiter is better for the 2-drop for this slot. I think the 2-drop is really, really loaded with Smuggler's Copter and Zulaport Cutthroat, so that's why I haven't decided to do it. And unfortunately, we miss again, and so I think that we're just going to lose this. We basically did not draw a land in the 4 draws, or 3 draws, which is statistically low. So we should have, statistically, we have a over 35% chance, I believe, on each draw to draw that land. But we're already down to a 12. I have no Grass and Darkness in sight, nor do I have a way to actually cast it. And if I miss a land drop here, I might just concede, just not give him any more information. Other than, the Westville Abbey does give him a lot of information of what he's actually up against. Throws away a Liliana and an Ishkanah. And he's going to traverse for an Ishkanah or an Emrakul or probably another Grim Flare. Yeah. Because I'm way far behind at this point. We do draw the Swamp. Is it worth it? He's thrown away a Grass of Darkness. I'd rather just get the value. Like, we need to hit another black source as quick as possible, so I need to loot and guarantee a loot. And I don't see myself actually casting this other Catacomb Sifter. So he's down to a 17. We're going to be down to close to lethal. In fact, I need to draw a black source next turn. I have to. And I'm still, yeah, then I'd have to animate the Smuggler's Copter. See what he actually grabs this time with Traverse. He's going to get Ishkanah, but he can't cast Ishkanah this turn. So Minor Demon, this is actually a huge opening, and I think that I have to just take the damage because we need to draw into a black source. We have to draw into the black source. It needs to be an untapped black source, which actually isn't a lot in our deck. The majority of them are going to come into play tapped. And then we need to play the Vidal and Pariah and then sack it. And surprisingly, after that, we're in decent shape if that scenario can happen. So there's the Swamp. Yep, so surprisingly, we're in good shape. Unfortunately, though, we don't have the... Foul Orchard can go bye-bye. I don't think we need it at this point to drop another one. Yeah, I want the rest of my cards, because next turn we want to go the Catacomb Sifter and Azulport Cutthroat. So the Foul Orchard, and then we are going to transform the Pariah. Put that on bottom. Put that on bottom as well. So again, surprisingly, we are... I mean, Ishkanah's coming out. That's going to be the card that he's going to play. Emrakul, never mind. So he had an Emrakul in hand. Really thought Ishkanah was going to be the card of choice, because he gets to take my turn here. He'll probably Grasp the Darkness, my own Abolisher, and then just pass. And then we'd have to draw into a card. Emrakul is a card that is kind of rough for us to deal with. Liliana is 2 Ishkanah. I think I'll bring in 1 Lost Legacy. Usually I don't like to, though, because it's not... Yeah, I guess so, because he'll probably bring in a few other cards. And... yeah, there's absolutely nothing I can do to block a 13/13 Trampler. In fact, I don't even have like a main way to deal with Emrakul. So just Ruin His Past the only way that we can deal with it. So I am going to bring in more of the controller out. We got way slow start there. And that was a good hand by our opponent. The Transgresses are actually... I'm going to bring in just like 2 Transgresses, 1 Lost Legacy. Liliana I don't think needs to come in this matchup. Kalatos is actually pretty decent. Deadweights are also good, because I think he's going to be running Tireless Trackers. But Deadweights can take away the early Grim Flayers. And yeah, Tireless Tracker I think is going to be in this deck. We do want the Ruinous Paths, and we don't need Natural States. So Blister Pod's actually quite weak in this matchup. Zulports are... I usually like to take out a few Zulports. The Masters are actually surprisingly good in this. I'm going to keep 1 in. Pariahs are a way to deal with Emrakul, but a lot of times Pariahs are just very weak against Ishkanah, so I'm just going to cut them. And I think at this point, Nissa is very, very good in this one. I think that maybe we don't need to worry about the Lost Legacy, or even the Transgress can get rid of Emrakul, and so we do want the Grass, we want the Crypt with Rights, we want Catacomb Sifters. I think Kalatos is actually quite weak in this one. I know it gets rid of their cards for good, but I'm gonna forgo Kalatos. I think we need to win with the Westville Abbey, and he does. We did see he was running with to the Slaughters. We have to be careful with that. So this is a hand that is definitely keepable. We have double Smuggler's Copter and a Zulport Cutthroat and a Grasp of Darkness and a Ruinous Path. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty decent hand. So I'd love to see another comes to play tap. So he's going to keep up the Grasp mana. Unfortunately, we miss. But I'm going to go for the Zulport. And if it gets grasped, it gets grasped. And unfortunately, he's going to natural state it before I can get some life off of it. So we need to hit another land next turn so we can ruin his path. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was the worst. Yeah, that was the worst draw for us. So I probably should have just cast another Copter last turn, knowing that he was keeping up mana for a reason. But Liliana is one of the cards that is difficult. Well, this makes life a little bit easier because it does give us the Catacomb Sifter, which Liliana can still kill. Yeah, ouch. So he probably will kill off the Eldrazi Scion. Minarch Demon also gives him some good play. And that did get him... Yep, that got him Delirium. We do get a Scry here, so I want a black source. So put that on bottom, it just dies to Liliana. Yeah, in fact, I probably should have taken those out in this matchup. We get another Catacomb Sifter. Yeah, really struggling with the black sources here. I think we will just go another Catacomb Sifter. Because that gives us 2 Scries when he kills the Scion. But we're going down to a 17 with the Mind Rack Demon, which does give us a little bit of an opening here. He's going to deadweight and then plus Liliana for the Catacomb Sifter. Really? Oh, he's really trying to protect Liliana. Oh, okay. A Flailing Tendrils. Don't want the Westvale Abbey. That can go to the bottom. And so I'm not going to get any Scries off of the Flailing Tendrils. And the Cryptoth Rite can actually go on top. Right? Yeah, I think that's the only way that I get back into this. Is to go the Weaponcraft Enthusiast. And we do want servos, because then they can tap in Ruinous Path, the Liliana, which is going to be our route to getting back in this game. Yeah, so Liliana's dead. Hopefully. Unless he's got like a deadweight here. Grim Flare. That's something I can grasp at Darkness. But we do have to worry about this Mind Rack Demon. Unfortunately, we do have to kill the... and we're taking 8 next turn. But we have to kill Liliana. So... Talk about how this is an easy matchup, but we get destroyed this game. I think I sideboarded pretty terribly. Like, the Flaying Tendrils, definitely Night Market Lookout needs to come out against this. I think that going the controller out against them is actually better, so more like Transgresses, just to race off any of their problem cards. Again, we take a ton of damage. I don't see any way out of this, actually. We need Smuggler's Copter to be able to block a Mind Rack Demon. Mind Rack Demon actually does have Trample, too, so... See if Ishkanah comes down. Yeah, that's going to be game. There's no way we come back from that. So we'll go on to game number 3. Again, I'll have to show you some other gameplay replays of the Black-Green Delirium. This is not a tough matchup. They are really awkward and slow versus this. The Grim Flayer turn 2 is really the draw that gets us. That hand is perfectly set up versus ours, and I did some terrible sideboarding. Usually, again, all the 1-drops you probably... all the 1 toughness cards you just take out versus Liliana. You just need to outvalue them and eventually get there. I think Vladalen Pariah is actually very good versus this deck, now that I'm looking at it. So Kalatas and Vladalen Pariah, even though he's got Ishkanah. So it's all about the Westvale Abbey. We'll go on to the next match. This is Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.